Let me tell you about the STAR method. Look at all of these candidates. Which one of them is special? None of them are special. How can you stand out? Use this STAR method right now. Hello guys, how can you use the STAR method? You just landed an interview for an AWS engineer position. AWS interview questions and answers are in this video right now, so make sure you watch this till the end. What do AWS cloud engineers even do? Do they make it rain from the clouds? I guess they do make it rain, kind of, I guess you could say that, in terms of the money that they can earn. So they do make it rain. Situation, task, action, result. Situation, task, action, result. STAR, star. The situation, what is going on? The question that you can be asked in the interview is, what do you do with your AWS infrastructure at your role? The answer, we are a software company. We run our infrastructure, our servers, the networking, compute, cloud, the cloud environment that we have is in AWS. That is the situation. The task, I created the infrastructure on AWS. I created the instances. I monitor that. The task, what needs to be done on our AWS, it has to be resilient. It has to have zero downtime. It has to run properly. It has to carry out all of the tasks that is needed on there. And that is the task that is required. And the action A, that's the action, the next step is, I created the AWS infrastructure in a resilient way. It runs with the maximum uptime. It is automated. It is monitored in terms of its performance and also in terms of its billing. That is the action which I took. And now the result, management is happy with their investment in AWS. Infrastructure on there is running fine. All of the servers are running fine. Networks are running fine. It is all monitored and efficient and lower cost than what we used to have in the data center. That is the result. That is your STAR method. Use this during an interview because it will help you stand out. When you have a question being asked, try to answer it using a story. That will make it more memorable. Nobody will remember you if you just splurt out a definition. For example, if I ask you what is an AMI on AWS, and you just say an AMI is an image. An AMI is an image that is managed by AWS, and you can use it to create an instance. It can be for a Windows server, it can be a Red Hat Linux, a Red Hat Enterprise Linux image as well. It can be even a database image, PostgreSQL, MySQL. It can be anything. You can even create your own AMIs on there. See, what is that? That is a definition, right? The AMIs that I manage the AMIs that we have, and I use them to create multiple instances which I ran for the banking company which I worked for. That is an example. It's a story. It's a story. You can even go even further than that and say a proper story. You can say, oh, I managed this service and there was an issue and I solved it, and that was the result. They use the STAR method and create a story as well. If you combine those two things, the STAR method and a story, that will make your answers more memorable, and it will stick in the mind of the hiring managers, and they will remember you as a high quality candidate. Make sure you use this method. Use the STAR method. Another question. I'll give you another question. This is a second example. Another question. An AWS interview question that you can get if you are applying for an AWS cloud engineer role. What is auto-scaling? Do not give the definition. Use the STAR method. You could say I used Amazon EC2 auto-scaling to create to scale up the infrastructure, the EC2 infrastructure on AWS. I allowed it to create more instances depending on load. I analyzed the load that was happening during that day, and we found out that in certain times of the day we would need more resources, more EC2 instances. So I allowed it to, if the CPU passes a certain threshold, I allow it to create more instances. Amazon EC2 auto scaling, I used it, and it actually allowed us to create resilient infrastructure that scales up and down according to load, which was also a huge cost saving as well on the financial side as well. And that was how I used Amazon EC2 auto scaling in my previous role. You see how you answered it using the STAR method: the situation, the task, the action, and then the result. And it's also presented in a story. This is how you use this for any question that you are asked in the Amazon AWS interviews. I hope you benefited from these AWS interview questions and answers. I'll see you guys in the next time. I am Mahad, the Motivator. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe down below. Let me know what you think. Do these methods help you? Have you used this before in your previous interviews? Yes or no? Comment down below. I'll see you guys next time.